Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another edition of EBX Discussion and Family. And it's been a heck of a road, as many of us know, that's still alive and breathing. Because again, we alive and breathing. We back to conquer another day, another year, and another decade. And it's wonderful to finally get to a space when we are wise and we have went through most of the levels, because the levels never run out until we as many of us say, transition. So be thankful if we here to make a change within ourselves, our circles, our family, children, significant other. You know how it go, and stay with it, because the fight must go on, and many have reached this level I'm getting ready to speak on, which you'll see on the thumbnail. And I see on my banner here, my generals, those who ride along with the brother. Remember, we're leaders and teachers. We ain't no damn followers. We're changing that damn narrative. So those who ride along with the brother, taking the time out of your day, and great day, whatever time zone you're in, whether it's, good day, good afternoon, and good evening. You know how I do it, above and beyond in our thoughts. And current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you and thank you. And one do cares. I got that by my name. It's not just a gimmick. EBX truly do cares. Now, one is not perfect, and one never thinks I'm better than anyone. Just trying to live one's life and share experiences and lift up brothers and sisters and family along this journey, because we got to enjoy most of this journey as we possibly can, because evil entities on the outside of us closing them walls in, trying to. Those that don't know how to have joy, won't have joy. But those who are seeking joy and have joy in the small things, man, we are the ones that will come into our golden years and flourish, And again, it's not about having a platform or having a lot of things. It's just being peace and whole in one's soul. That's the ultimate goal. Real talk. If one can just have peace within themselves with less stress and no stress at all. So many have been at this level I'm getting ready to speak on, family, brothers and sisters, generals, as Lord Lamont say, he came up with our fellow spell breakers, because we become spell breakers in this life. We break the spell in ourselves, and we set out on this journey to put righteous thoughts in brothers and sisters' mind, family, those who view, male or female, to break the spell that some may have been under. And what is a spell? Just conditioning, old habits, things we're used to, especially if it's something that's like blinding us from something we really need to see. Because I've been there. A lot of us had. Just, because with every generation, every era, things change, and we stay above water, so to speak, so we can see and be an impact to our youth, adults too. I'm always rhyming. And the next level, 56. Today is one's BDAY, as I spoke on in maybe a couple of podcasts ago. And next level, 56. And I want to speak on the natural power of the brain. Now, I don't know everything there is about the brain and psychology, and again, just off experiences and what one has learned from. And I always say, if a lot of us have been through the woulda, coulda, shoulda syndrome, we've learned from those woulda, coulda, shouldas. We've got somewhat of a grasp on life, know when to be humble, what areas to be humble, and what areas to kind of hold back that humbleness. But just being humble, just be thankful we wake up, for one, right off the bat. If we're alive and breathing, we have nothing to complain about. Now, we get that part out the way, then we can get to the challenges of the world, whether it's finances, our families, ourselves. But first off, be thankful that we wake up. And these are the things, as we get a little wiser, a little more high up in levels of awareness and age, I always say, because sometimes you can get to the awareness before the age. You don't always have to wait till you get past your 50s to be wise. You can be wise before then. But that's what I always say, levels of awareness or age. But because some of us are late bloomers, I can attest to that. Again, I said 1,000 times, and a lot of us have. If we haven't experienced it in ourselves, we've seen it in others. It can take almost a lifetime, brothers and sisters, to get oneself together, and that's whatever that is, ourselves, our psyche, and just maintaining ourselves in this life, because it can be challenging in these times too, but if you got a grasp on life, pat yourself on the back. If you can see and you focus and you have as much focus as we can possibly be, salute yourself and pass that energy on to those we love and care about in our circles, because we have to be in the business of building generals, because remember those that built us. A lot of us have had help along the way. I always reiterate that. And then we get to ourselves, if we're able, with no handicaps, we get ourselves to a position where we don't turn away help, but don't put ourselves in a position where we always need help. Now again, if it's not circumstantial and we pretty much doing all right, but be open to get help in things, because one don't know everything, So and that's where the humbleness come in, but a strong, firm humble. And that's where a lot of us have been to this next level, 56. And of course, when I say 56, I mean age. I just turned 56 today. One's BDAY, and I will be connecting with family, and I have text my son, and I'll be getting with my son Ethan, his siblings, and his Pretty Brown, I call it his mom, Pretty Brown. I'll be getting with Pretty Brown here a little later on, and I'll speak to my mom and connect the best way I can. Still gotta work on the old van, but that's not gonna stop me from connecting with family. That's just some things. I got out and did a lot today. Did some laundry. I actually went walking through a neighborhood today, something I don't normally do. Just thought I'd try it. Did that, just appreciating, even though it was hot out, I was appreciating the beautiful weather, because I know in other parts of the world there are people going through it. I think we had floods. It was some states or cities or countries somewhere out there. I remember seeing in the news that some people had no power for a little while. So I always acknowledge things like that, and that's how we get when we get to a heightened level of awareness, especially. And it's beautiful when we can come into that level 56, that next level 56. So again, that's my age I'm at. Now I want to segue into the natural power of the brain, thus the gift of the divine downloads. Now, what are our divine downloads, my brothers and sisters? Not that we don't know. I just want to, re-enter it and kind of break it down, just another perspective. Now, we all know what natural means, so that's why I put on the thumbnail, natural brain power. And we talking about, I don't want to sound too corny, but we mean, at least righteous brain power, something that improves ourselves and help to improve others. Because again, a lot of us have been in a space where we wasn't somewhat aware. I've been there, a lot of us have, but it's beautiful when we get to a state of awareness. Man, it's just wonderful, but it's not easy. You have to go through different things and master our emotions and all those great things, but it's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight, and learn from other, reachers and teachers, our families, and somebody real that really knows the human body. And, it's just wonderful because again, we learn something new every day if we're seeking to learn. I'm talking about good things now, wholesome things. Yeah, so I want to get into the gift of divine downloads. Now, again, what is divine downloads? Kind of like what I'm doing now, and a lot of us do. Like a brother I listen to, I've been riding along for a long time, and have that we could, as our brothers call it, reaches, and our sisters, our brothers and sisters, we call it, what we call it, off the cuff. Now, we can do that, melanated brothers and sisters. We just have that, and that's where hip hop comes in. We can freestyle off the dome. That's an amazing gift to have. If you really think about it, that's amazing to do that, to come up with words and put sentences together without AI or the computer. It's joy and it's fun, and you go back, especially me, I like to do music, and I'm sure many artists feel like this that do music in any kind of genre. Just one who really loves the creation of music and the passion and any gift, anything that's creative and from the natural part of our brain, something that we developed without too much digital stuff, because it's just, I don't know, it's like you don't lose that authenticity, not trying to sound all intelligent, but it's just anybody that has a craft that they love know what I mean. It's something that you can't explain. It's only something that we feel. Now, and I mean, when I say that go for music. If we like to draw, if we like to write, we like art. Anything that we develop from that natural source of our brain. That we didn't use too much digital, and that's what keeps us connected to being human. And all what I said, that's the divine downloads. Like a lot of us can speak off the cuff like Malcolm X, and put in some powerful words. Then he didn't have notes up there reading. Now I'm sure in some parts of Malcolm X, rest in peace and in power, he probably jotted down notes here and there, but when he was passionate about a certain subject, he didn't need no notes. He got up there, and this was before social media. So just, I always say, marinate on that. Just think how powerful that brother was. Even Martin Luther King, even though there's different theories about him and all that. But I'm speaking on somebody who's so determined, without computers, and push their voice out there. And I forgot what they call them, but the big, I forgot what they call them, but the big speakers they had back then, and it was so many people, and the audience was so great and so vast that the speaker, with his voice, like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, rest in peace and in power, their voice would echo all the way to the back. So, I can't remember what those speakers are called. It's a name for them. But anyway, when Martin Luther King would say something, like, say for instance, he would say "I," it would, before it would get to the back of the audience, it'd be I. You know what I mean? So like that. But man, they got their voice out there, and everything that's happened in history up to this point is all for a divine reason, even though entities around us that are not of melanated brothers and sisters, every time they try, it backfires. It's nothing you can do. You can fight all day to try to go against some natural. You're like tires rotating in the mud. But I ain't gonna get too deep into that, because this is a celebration of those who are still around and has done their part in humanity and or culture, whatever space. I salute those who standing firm today. They have been through the fire and has made it to that next level. 56. Some of us are past 56 and look like we're 46. That's another thing. Less stress, no stress at all. You hear me say that a lot. And less stress, no stress at all, and focusing on it and staying away from things that can cause stress, whether person, place, or thing. It makes you look younger. That's why you see a lot of brothers and sisters out here just glowing. You know what I mean? Skin just, and everything else help too. We have to do things ourselves to take care of it. Don't get so deeply spiritual that we get stupid. You know what I mean? We're not invincible. Well, it's measures that we have to take to keep oneself healthy as possible. And again, that's for me too, folks. I have to do things. That's another reality of getting to that next level of 56. So, because I always do just some reflection of those who maybe transition young, like my cousin L'Oreal Lyrical, rest in peace and in power. As I've said, had a couple of babies in my family that have transitioned. So I always think about things like that. When you get wise at that next level of 56, and it's my B-Day, my age, that's the age I'm talking about. You become a little more grateful. It comes with age. Unless you just one who don't give a damn, then that's the more harder your golden years is going to be. And this is a theory that this is not my theory. This is another brother I listen to. So this is something he said. So this is not mine. But this is, I'm sure a lot of philosophers, those who like really study human nature and life and transitioning and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of agree with this. Like, if we live our life disastrous and like, I'm talking about on purpose, and we're healthy and it's like we have no reason or no excuses, and we like don't pay attention to none of the red flags, and we just, we're reckless and we're selfish and we're narcissistic and all these things that's poison to our body, and we're like this, years on end, and we never learn. Because Great Divine, I always say, Great Divine and Mama Nature is the author of patience and time. Will give us so many opportunities to straighten up and go right. Because I've been there. I made so many mistakes in my time, and it's like Great Divine just keep picking us up, keep picking us up, keep picking us up until we get it. But Great Divine is like a parent. Great Divine and Mama Nature, they like parents. I always say Great Divine is the masculine energy and Mama Nature is the feminine energy. It's only going to pick us up for so long because Great Divine knows us better than we know ourselves, as well as Mother Nature. So it knows if we don't make it through the challenge that it puts before us, especially if we're healthy, again, no excuses, then that's in my theory, and this is another brother theory that I got this from, again, it's not my theory, and many philosophers, is the hardest will transition. Like we, of course, if we, take somebody out or took somebody's life or caused someone's demise and we have no remorse, in my opinion, and many philosophers, I have to agree with it, it's like a crash course in your transition, and that's when you'll suffer the most, especially if you like committed evil acts your whole life and never learn. Of course there's going to be an abrupt stop, or especially when you get up in age, because that's when all that karma can come, because karma could come at any time, but that was just a little something that we learned in that next level 56, and tapping into that natural power of our brain and work, man, get into that intelligent part of our brain and work that brain to, that intelligent part, and work it till the wheels fall off. Create. I mean, not just platforms, whatever our skill is. I mean, it ain't always got to be the gift of music or hip hop, whatever it is. Great Divine has given us all some kind of skill or gift or purpose. It ain't always got to be on a big scale. And in my opinion, I think that's when sometimes how we miss out, and we'll think we missed out on something. No, Great Divine could have another plan for us. We just got to be focused and not be distracted by toxic person, place, or thing, media and or social media, and pay attention, get into those deep thoughts, and find that skill. And if you, whatever skill it is, and that's what we focus on right there. I remember I told my, one of my goddaughters that find what you like to do, as long as it's not hurting yourself or hurt nobody else. And that's what you focus on, and and flourish in it. Again, it don't have to be on no great scale. You might be good with kids, like like Pretty Brown, my son Ethan's mom. I call her Pretty Brown. She's not only raised her own kids, she's raised other kids. That's an ability, and she probably could have ran her own daycare, real talk, even though she might fuss sometimes and all that. But as many of our great queens out here who are sisters, man, we got some warrior sisters out there. And I would have to say she one of them, like my mom, my aunties and my family, my grandma, sisters I met along the way in my childhood, stuff like that. We got some straight generals out there that have sisters that have been through the fire, know what it is, So, I always call down great protection and always keep family, brother and sister in general in that realm. I always talk about. So, when you get deep into your core and embrace the gift of divine download, be amazed. Again, we make, like I just fumbled. It was a time I would do that. I was like, oh man, but now you get to a point, I said this before, you get to a point where, when you get up into levels of awareness or age, but salute to the brothers and sisters who are wise at a young age, because they are out there. Don't listen to this media too much. We got some general young brothers and sisters, real talk, and we got some generals that's adults. But long as we there, long as if we're at a state of awareness, just be thankful. And again, be thankful of the knowledge we do know, and never ever get into a space where we think we know everything. And I think that's a beautiful way to arrive at that next level, 56, which is my B-Day. And be thankful we making it to them B-Days. Be thankful we standing firm. And for those who aren't with us, that we held dear, from my family to those who are listening, family, may they rest in peace and in power. But remember, the body may lay to rest, but the spirit live on through us. Because I don't let those I cared about, I don't let their body lay to rest. Now that's my thing. Everybody's different, but I keep them in one spirit. Because I would want those that maybe when I'm not here to remember the great things that let's think of the great things of our loved ones. Because no one will ever be perfect. We might as well get that up. I had this discussion with Pretty Brown, my son Ethan's mom. I had the discussion with her. Once we give up that mission of looking for somebody perfect, I think that's when we can be somewhat free. Just give up looking for somebody perfect. Just find someone that we can, somewhat compatible with, work through each other's issues and do the best with each other, and hold on tight, and watch out for outside things that can sometimes mess relationships up. I'm not an expert in this area. Just, again, the next level, 56, you get to a state where you just, try to grow with one and make the best with what we have. Now, I'm not saying we just settle for anything, but really look at our situation and analyze it and break it down, because we only live one life. And as we all know, that's a reality. And I actually heard a comedian say this, and I think it was Tony Rock. Salute to Tony Rock. Anybody listen to this channel, I love hip hop and I love comedy. And I did a tribute to Chris Rock, and I spoke on Tony Rock in that podcast. It was a comedy heavy hitters, and it was a part 2. And Tony Rock was saying in his stand-up special, the older we get, the faster time goes, it seemed like, so cherish every moment. And again, none of us are perfect, but appreciate the perfect intentions that we really work on that we really work on maintaining, and sharing the energy to others, because we all always hear that saying. We always say what we put out is what we get back. That becomes a reality when you get up in levels of awareness or age. So again, think about those that didn't make it to 20, and some didn't make it to 19 and on down. So just be thankful, but we keep their spirit within us, especially the righteous brothers and sisters. So it's when we're finally wise, then we can salute and be righteously proud at that next level, 56. And man, keep working that natural power in one's brain, and embrace great divine downloads, because a lot of us melanated brothers and sisters, family, we can just, some of us, especially melanated, it's just something that great divine just put in us that a lot of us just has no idea how powerful we can be. Now we talking about a righteous power now. All right. Because and I wanted to give an example, because I'm free flowing right now. I didn't read today. As you noticed, I haven't read anything. Usually I do read. And again, it's good to read because it's good for our cognitive functions. It keeps our eyes sharp, our mind sharp, because again, that's another reality. When we get up into, a little bit of age, things tend to kind of deteriorate and break down. But if we're paying attention to oneself, we do whatever we can to stay healthy, mind, body, and soul. You know what I talk about? The 7 senses, mind, body, and soul, the psyche, see, hear, and feel. Those are the most important senses in one body, as well as the other 7 senses, which is the 7 chakras. I've been studying them too. So, and it's not about being this deep person. It's just staying aware. Young brother, sister, or older brother, sister, family. All right. Now, y'all know I want to get to a hip hop break, and then I'm gonna come back and salute you, brothers and sisters. On, I just wanted to share and give a little inspiration and a little divine power, and celebrating 56 years on this planet. You know, it's been a heck of a road. You know, and I just thank that great divine for being in one's heart and not letting a brother become bitter about anything and dealing with one's own issues and all that stuff, and flipping it and turning it around into positive energy. And that's wonderful, brothers and sisters, when we can get to a space like that and we look back, as I always like to say, and be like, man, I'm glad I didn't do this. I'm glad I didn't do that. You know, be thankful for the times we didn't pass up those opportunities to do the right thing. It's wonderful because we come into our golden years with a big old smile on our face and that sun shining through the clouds. And just being real, that's the deal, because that's the next song coming up. And the next one after that is not new to this, true to this. I mentioned this song before, but this is for those who may haven't heard it. And the song coming up is That's the Deal. We free flowing today, brothers and sisters. Again, I wanted to give an example of tapping in to that natural power of our brain and just showing how it's wonderful. And again, a lot of us have this gift, you know, brothers and sisters, those who speak, especially those who mean well, and brothers and sisters who actually are on African soil that speak and just, man, can just pop that knowledge from our spirit and we're able to filter it and it comes out our mouth just so smooth. And it's especially when it's attached to authenticity, you know, and we just letting it flow and letting things come natural. That's the beauty of life, you know. But again, I can say I can't speak for others, but I speak for myself, you know. So it's been a long road to get to this point, but just be thankful, you know, that we stayed on that righteous journeys. It pays off in the end when he ain't talking about money either. But you know what? When you're right in your heart and you really don't give a damn about money, and we know we have to have it and pay bills and all that, but when you just really don't give a damn about it, in some way, I don't know, somehow, some way, we come into it. And I'm sure a lot of us have experienced that. If we just take our time, be patient, man, we just never know. Some of us do know, but man, you just never know what that great divine a place in one's path. We just patient, and when it's our time, that great divine will let us shine. Brother, sister, family, and we just keep it real. That's all. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Having peace, you know, that's the deal. So be back after this, and we're going to keep on free flowing. All right, and salute to my biological children and my God children. That great divine be in their life. Protect them. Keep them prospering. And staying real, though. And that's the deal. Be back after this.
Gee, it's for my family, generals, myself. I gotta stay strong. Brothers and sisters, gotta keep it real. And that's the fucking deal. Try my best to keep it real. And that's the fucking deal. Try my best to keep it real. In divine, do this kind of stuff all the time. Try my best to keep it real. Gee, that's the fucking deal. Rhyming, yeah, all the time. Live with the divine, yeah, get the stuff out my soul. Man, up out my mind. Look, doing this, no one never quit. Yeah, in his life, never having a fit. Yeah, my words on this mic, yeah, try to make it so crisp. Yeah, be real in heart, that way we can make it far. Yeah, gotta be strong in this life and know, yeah, who we are. Yeah, making these words up off my head. That divine is what I'm led. Keep doing this when I transition, cause I'm not dead and I don't die and I don't lie. Nothing in this life and I always try. I ain't never low, man, I stay up high, yeah, in the brain, stay in my lane. I never go, yeah, insane. We got to do this, yeah, family, brothers, sisters, man. Sisters, man, sisters, man. Try my best to keep it real. Gee, and that's the fucking deal. Yeah, yeah. Try my best to keep it real. Brothers and sisters, and that's the deal. Try my best to keep it real. Yeah, yeah. And that's the fucking deal. Try my best to keep it real, real, real. And that's the fucking deal. Gee, thinking, my God, man, that we here and ye here, making it sound positive things all in my bones. Yeah, how man I stay strong, protect, yeah, my brothers, sisters, family, and my home. Never stop, I love the bottom, say at the top. I love this here hip hop, yeah, on this mic, try to do it right with this insight. I thank the God for being in me. I will make it, yeah, in the streets, contest, yeah, with these words, making sure that we stay free, we stay free, we stay free. Try to keep it real, real, and that's the fucking deal. Yeah. Do my best to keep it real, and that's the fucking deal. Yeah. Do my best to keep it real. Never on this rhyme through all this time, yeah, on the dime. Yeah, I love doing this, it's a good gift, and I never quit. Never be stressed out in this life. Yeah, man, so quick. Keep it real, and that's the fucking deal. Yeah. Do my best to keep it real. Yeah. And that's the fucking deal. Yeah. Brothers and sisters. Do my best to keep it real. Yeah. That's the fucking deal.
Real talk, just trying to keep it real, that's all. Keep that peace, that's the deal, you know. And it's just beautiful. And thank those for joining me on this beautiful waterfall, as you can see. I like images like that because there's just so much, so much crap going on in this world and different things we see in images. So that's why I try to always, as I told my son Lord Lamont, I got an infatuation with mountains, and I like how I look at night in the city because I used to love it when I was little. And when I would come to, because I've been coming to Milltown my whole life, and I used to come here. I remember at nighttime, the city just looks so beautiful to me. So that's why you'll see that on the banner and on songs and father and son discussions and stuff like that, which will be coming soon. Look for another father and son discussion, music from myself and Lord Lamont. Salute, and music from L'Oreal Lyrical. May she rest in peace and in power. And again, I just wanted those to vibe with me while we watch the beautiful waterfall and just, man, embrace the great divine downloads. Don't take it for granted. If we can, man, we just have a natural skill, again, whatever skill that is, and man, work that natural part of our brain, to the wheels fall off, the natural power of our brain. It's wonderful when we can tap into that, but again, it could take a lifetime. It's not something we do overnight. It takes studying, it takes focusing, what we eat, our health, if we're exercising, man, breathing. It's so many things that go into tapping in that natural, powerful part of our brain. And we talking about that intelligent part, that creative part, that inventor part, that some of our greatest scientists were melanated. Think about that. Didn't go to school with nothing, just came up with concepts. And from what? That gift of divine downloads. We tap into it, be amazed. And we'll tap into it enough, get into ourselves enough, get away from the distractions. We'll find out what our skill is, because Red Divine has given all of us a purpose, big or small. So tap into that divine purpose, brothers, sisters, family, and tell yourself, I ain't new to this. We ain't new to this. We true to this. This is a affirmation song coming up next. True to this. I played this before, but this is for those who may have not heard it. So be back after this.
I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, not new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never new to this, I'm true to this. EBX, and I always rock, yeah, straight up from my soul. I lift my family, sisters, and bro, and my children, and that's all I see. I want us all in the streets, meant to be free. A mind, body, and soul. Stay up on the go, and never stop, yeah. And I said so. Yeah. A positive power, man, I feel it all up in my brain. We never know what's gonna happen while we on this plane. Yeah, in this life, do things to stay sane. We got no time, meant to be insane, yeah. Stay in our positive lane, yeah. I don't give a damn if it's dawn or rain, yeah. I ain't new to this, I'm true to this, yeah. I never knew to this, I'm true to this, yeah. I ain't new to this, I'm true to this, yeah. I never knew to this, I'm true to this. EBX. I done say things, man, that keep us moving on. Yeah. These songs in this life, man, we gotta stay strong. You can see, never be weak. Yeah, man, I'm trying to be free and keep on protecting, yeah, as you and me. Yeah, I would drop this kind of stuff all the time. How I do this in my rhyme, I connect to that divine. I get it in my brain. I stand up on this ground, and yeah, on this plane. I'm with this positive sound. I can't stop this, man. I don't see no quit, no. I ain't new to this. I'm too busy being true to this, true to this, true to this, true to this. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this. I'm true to this. Yeah, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this. I'm true to this. EDX. One. Yeah, I said yeah. One. EDX. One. Let go, let go. Yeah. One. Let go. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Yeah. I never knew to this. I'm true to this. Yeah. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Yeah. I never knew to this. I'm true to this. EBX. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Yeah. I never knew to this. I'm true to this. Yeah. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Yeah. I never knew to this. I'm true to this. EBX. One.
All right, brothers and sisters. That's right. You're one, you're one with yourself. That's why I put that. That's why I said that in the hook. We become one, with that great divine spirit. But we have to be in that space to be in that space. And don't look at it as such a deep thing. It's just getting to know yourself. You get to the core of yourself. And being attached to spirituality never hurts. When we on the right side of it, and we tapping into our that great part of us that make us flourish and having us where we glow on the outside, but it takes paying attention to oneself and being serious and not just a religion thing, and really connecting with oneself. And just be amazed when we just study different things about the human body. We learn a lot about ourselves because we study human nature, not just to look at others, but most of all for ourselves. That's how we can really learn about the body and things we don't think about, and that's the beauty and the gift of divine downloads. And so thank those that came in to another edition of EBX discussion. And I just wanted to show an example of how great divine just gives some of us that gift of a skill we can do. And I just wanted to use kind of speaking off the cuff as an example. But again, we got to go beyond just having a platform. We can't just be sides down. There's many gifts and talents. They always say there's a trillion and billion gills. There's a trillion and billion skills and gifts and abilities. There's so many things out there, that great divine has us, but evil entities that are not melanated, that skills are limited, they might not have the skills. But just look down through history of what melanated brothers and sisters have invented and have made. The others can learn from us. They got a good heart, but don't take it and twist it. And I don't want to get into that, but this is a celebration of just being able to do things naturally, basically. And again, not just speaking. Speaking is good though if we got right intent, good in our heart, and we want one to grow as brother, sister, family, younger or older. That's when it's beautiful, when it's the gift of divine download. And man, we tap into that natural, powerful part of our brain. It's beautiful, So that's something I wanted to share, and thank those that's been riding along. Again, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you and thank you, brother, sister, general. And be thankful those who are standing upright and firm, and have made it through many fires. I salute you, and I encourage you to keep being strong, keep learning, and keep studying, oneself, person, place, thing. Stay sharp, And this have been this have been the next level, 56. Again, it's my BDAY, and I'm just celebrating life and being thankful for those that I care about that are here, and that's children, family, and those that mean well out there in the world or online, brothers and sisters in my childhood, everybody in that realm. I don't leave nobody out. Great Divine know who I'm talking about, because again, for one, if we got right in our heart, we have nothing to worry about. Just do the best we can and come up with the best solution to deal with any challenge. And that's all we got to do is make that step as brother, sister, family. Guess what? Great Divine will do the rest. I didn't mean to rhyme that. That you see what I'm saying? I didn't even mean, and I do that all the time. I told my son that, Lord Lamont, and that come from me doing music a lot, because I've done a lot of music, And, when you do something you love, remember, we're talking about whatever that is. When we do something we like and it's a passion, of course we're going to get good at it, And we share what we learn to others. And again, be in the business of building generals, whether it's brother, sister, family, And again, the natural power of our brain is wonderful. The natural part of our brain is wonderful when we can tap into that and not let too much, social media and digital get in there. I like I say, when I see these people with these cards, I see so many people having problems with these cards and these debit cards, and it's becoming more frequent every other day, because of course I'm a cook / chef, and a lot of people pay with cards. And I swear every other day, whether I'm at the store, Walgreens, I'm always behind somebody having trouble with them cards. See, and I'm telling you, one thing I say, and this could be an opinion or a theory, one thing about AI, computers, and digital and all this shit, what do they always do? They always glitch out. And another thing, they always have to be updated. You know what I'm saying? So I'm clinging. I'm old school for life. I'll adapt, and I know digital's coming and AI and all that shit and certain shit and cash might not be here. I'm aware of all those things, but I will never, ever lose what that Great Divine has put in a lot of us spirit. Brother, sister, family, man, a natural, powerful brain, and the gift of a divine download connected to whatever skill or ability or invention, whatever we have, brothers and sisters. That's what we cling on to. That's what'll keep us whole and keep joy in us too, because this digital shit takes the fun out of stuff. That's the fun in creating, and coming up with our own concepts that come from the belly of our soul that nobody else made without a blueprint or school. That's the most beautiful thing in the world. And again, whatever gift, ability, invention that is, you know what I'm saying? And our ancestors have shown us that. If a lot of us pay attention to our history and really go back, really study, and go to the library if we have to, stuff like that will inspire us. You know what I'm saying? That's brother, sister, family. So again, embrace, whatever skill or purpose or invention, creativity, in whatever area, expertise that we have. Again, it could be small space, big space. Embrace the gift of divine downloads. Salute. And again, I'm celebrating B-days out there, whoever having a birthday. Thank that Great Divine that you're here. And again, this have been another level, 56, and it's been a heck of a road. I'm gonna say one more time, my generals, man, if we got things we can just do off the cuff, it's a luxury. It really is. So again, brother, sister, family, embrace the gift of divine downloads. Salute.